Hello and welcome. It's SVPod. Stanford Steve is in the building. Red is as well. He might not move. Buddy, let me tell you. It went from, hey, it's sort of summer-y to triple digits. It's a hunch. And for people like in Phoenix, I get it. You guys roll your eyes. Appreciate you. It just doesn't get like that here. Plus, we have the humidity, which changes the dynamic. So it's warm. The big fella was happy to see me, but he may just shut it down right there.
His eyes are closing.
Well, that's fine. You just go, boy.
This is a good temperature in here.
Yeah, he might have found a spot, summertime spot. Where's Red? He's
scratching at the other door.
Yeah, he'd like to go up in the room. No one's there. He doesn't care. We're just happy to be here, which means we're done with the round trips. The finals were awesome. Thank you to the cities of Indianapolis, Oklahoma City. Thank you to the Pacers and the Thunder, their respective teams, coaches, PR folks. Couldn't have been better. The NBA was awesome. 7 round trips in however many days. Coming back with some shows in the middle, the swim meets, little this, little that. It was a lot. But as we're flying back today, all I could think of is 100% worth it. And I'm so glad we got to see it from that vantage point as opposed to how we've been doing it since we've been doing this show.
I can't wait to do it again next year. It's going to be awesome.
Don't know about all that?
We'll see. No, I think it's more of appreciation, Scott.
1,000%.
Because
1,000%.
Being there for 7 games, appreciate the buildings, people, fan bases, our crew,
our people
that's going back and forth every day. We're coming back here for shows in studio. They're going right to the next place to set everything up.
Mario, I hope you're back in Phoenix, brother.
Where's the cooler? But no, the people, different spots, Mahogany, Prime 47, Big Rich. I can't imagine what the Tipsy Tiki was last night. Heard a line was out the door. I was not about to text him and ask him if I could come in the side. That is Oklahoma City people. They've been starving for this. And as good as Indiana was in Game 6, I think we thought that was the best atmosphere so far because that was it.
Yep.
Finally had a team with the back against the wall. And OKC last night, we walk in, and it's like your feet, like you feel everything going through your legs. And I'm like, they didn't even do starting lineups yet. And it's just this anticipation. And there's a lot of pride in that state, man. There's a lot of pride in that state. And they brought it last night. And I said it on the show last night as we closed up. I'm so happy that a team that appreciates and takes the regular season seriously, when night in and night out, they were just burying teams. But you know what they got out of that? Game 7 at home. 3 times. They needed it. Every time if they needed it.
Needed it against Denver, and they needed it last night.
And that's what I wish everybody's, we're going to follow the OKC model.
Good luck with that.
Well, take the regular season. Seriously. It's a good step. You never know. And, I just appreciation, man. The NBA, to see that function and how they do it and all the pieces and being able to get representation from the cool stuff, the old Pacer players coming, OKC bringing their people through. It just was as big, and I'll never forget being at every single one of these games, man. It was that I hope it came across on television as good as it was in person because it exceeded my expectations because of it's the best of the best. And though, everybody plays basketball growing up or whatever.
Yeah.
To see those guys in person, the size, the athleticism, the wherewithal, 7 games, it's just tremendous. And I do really, really, really appreciate it. We love sports, and that's why we do what we do.
Yep.
But that was something that I appreciated. I'll never forget.
Well said. I would echo it, particularly the vibration I felt in my chest. Like, hadn't even got to the anthem, hadn't even got to the intros. It was fever pitch in that building. And You all were as advertised from the beginning. So was Indiana. And, the saying is in 49 states, it's just basketball, but this is Indiana. With respect, I don't know what it is in Oklahoma, but it's really special to that whole state. And thank you to the Thunder. I guess they heard through the grapevine about my roots there in the northeast corner of the state called Miami, and they had a little care package in the room earlier in the finals, some Miami War Dogs gear and some little trinkets. It was just a really nice touch. It's clear what that means to the state. And the feeling in the building, you said it well, like your feet start tapping.
Heck yeah.
And I mean, you played at a high level. I played not at a high level, but you can't help but think in your mind, what would it be like to be wearing a yellow jersey and run into this and stare into the eyes of it and feel that energy and be like, imagine getting introduced and this is it, man. It's 48 minutes to be a forever team. It was just amazing. And then it starts like a Rocky fight. And damn it, does it suck. Does it suck? And it'll always suck that it ended how it ended for Tyrese Haliburton. It's just within the construct of sports, it's as crushing as it gets. And they're really, I can't think of a parallel. Not the same. If you're Texas, you always wonder if Colt McCoy doesn't get hurt in the title game. But this is to win your 16th postseason game, and you've won 15. And a guy who, if he was criticized for anything, it was that there were times that, for as talented as Tyrese Haliburton is, he was going to let things come to him more. Wait to put his mark on the game, which he did over and over and over at the ends, plural, of games. But here he is from the jump, Steve, on as big a stage as there is, and he was showing the fuck off. Like, look at me. Buckle up. 9 points in 7 minutes. Hits 3 of his first 4. And Tim Legler put it, as he often does, he said he was likely feeling something no one else on the floor was, an energy and a confidence that was clear to see. It's over. And I don't know what you do with that, man. You'll always wonder if you're Indiana, what would have happened. No one knows. But you're not wrong to wonder. And the Thunder apologized to no one. You were the best team all year. You earned the right to have that game on your home floor, and you won. No one's going to be asking for apologies on Tuesday, and you're not giving any. I just hate it for a guy who couldn't have been more human, couldn't have been more gracious with his time, with us. And it just absolutely is as brutal an end. I thought Windhorst was great afterwards, just saying how complicated and conflicted he felt, and that he had never felt like that, ever. This guy that's made his living covering the sport. And he's just like, I don't know. And I thought his genuine emotion was really telling, and I felt the same way.
Yeah, it sucks. That's the only thing everybody's on the same page there. You asked all the Thunder people what their feelings when it happened. They said the same thing. It's brutal. But what happened after that was kind of mesmerizing, because we just talked about how good the building was, and there's a lull. There's a lull. Like, the people in the arena, they're not going to show that on the big screen. People watch it at home. We're in the back. We have replay available, and you don't know what's going on. He gets carted off. You don't think what's going to be back. He's laying on the court, but there's a lull, and everybody's like, what's going to happen now? And that's why I give Indiana all the credit in the world, because I said all week, they're the last team I want to play in a Game 7, because you just don't know where it's coming from. And then to see him start the way it was, and just to see them battle, and Nembhard makes the 3, and they're up 1 at half, and it's like, wow. Only got 24 minutes left.
I went back. Our office space, if you will, in the building was directly adjacent to Indiana's
right next to it.
Locker room. And I opened the door, and I watched them walk by. And I've told the story for years about Alabama, the famous, they signed up for 60. I wanted to see what the Pacers look like. And I saw determined, fixed gazes and head nodding, and Siakam's just like, we're good. And one guy just said, this ain't shit different tonight. Like, and I'm like, it's the kind of stuff that, like, literally right now you get goosebumps seeing that level of competition and that level of we're in this fight. But the truth of the matter is, if you want to win that fight, you need 0, and they didn't have them. And eventually, the avalanche was coming. And the team that was the best third-quarter team in the NBA, they gathered themselves at halftime too. And I think probably the reset was good to be able to look around and go, hey, fellas, relax. We got this building. They don't have one of their best players. Let's do what we do, be who we are. And they were.
Yeah, and that's where I think the shift goes to OKC, because they still had to go do it. And yeah, now the expectation is even higher, right? To get this done in front of your home crowd without the team on the other side having their best player. But how they did it, and just so methodical. We love TJ McConnell. Love him. What he brought in for that team. And then, he gets some shine because he was the difference in their wins. I would say all 3 of them. But what happens now is he's the main guy, so he has the ball in his hands. So now he gets the Thunder's best guy. And you see Lou Dort just swarming him. And then, the third quarter's going on. Yeah, he's getting some buckets, but he ends up with 7 turnovers.
He was just suffocated. The defense that the Thunder play from the top of the key to half court, the aggression they show from that part of the floor. Think about what I'm saying. You're on the defensive end, right? You're guarding from the top of the key towards half court. I don't know how many times McConnell would get caught where he had to pick up his dribble, and it was Dort and a big, and there's Chet's wingspan is from here to Oklahoma City. Hartenstein, the same thing, and he just swallowed the ball.
And that's why they're the best, because they're the deepest, and those guys swarm like no other. And they, like Legler said, they're the best at taking the ball from you and getting points in the other way. What was it, 29 they got off? 23 turnovers?
I thought it was 32.
32?
I thought it started – the turnover started with a 2, and I think the points started with a 3. Whatever it was a lot.
But, and then you just see it. It gets to 9, and then it's going to double digits, and holy shit, it's like, it's 16. Like, this is going to be insane, and Pacers kept cutting in, get it to 10.
And yet they got it to 10 one last time. And, that's the part that's so hard to stomach, is you're thinking, if you had him being Tyrese Haliburton, could he have done it again? Would it have ever gotten to that point if you had him? And the minute he hit the ground, I saw the ball going the other way. It was basically 2-on-0. I want to say it was Dort and Holmgren. But I'm looking back, and I saw him smacking the floor, and I said to the room, Haliburton's hurt. Like, instantly, he knew. And again, I don't want to belabor the point. It didn't just suck for last night. This is a suck that lingers, which is the worst kind, because it's going to impact all of next season as well.
They got the draft Wednesday.
Correct.
They just made a trade, I think, to get another pick, or maybe it was one for next year. But, like, you're sitting there in a Game 7 trying to win a title, and you're like, holy shit, we're not going to have our best player next year.
Nope. And you got to figure out the Turner situation.
48 hours.
Yeah, what do we do with that? You're mapping out, and as much credit as Oklahoma City got and gets, I'm glad we got to talk to Sam Presti about it, who I thought was fantastic afterwards. Indiana's done very similar things. Meticulous building, had patience. I talked to Kevin Pritchard before the game, which I'm glad I got a chance to do. And I said, you know what you did that I love? You guys didn't blink. You didn't feel like you needed to tinker. And he appreciated that recognition. Yeah, he's like, we got a bunch of guys we really like. Stay the course. Let it bake. And they ran it back with their guys. And they're there with a chance. And now you still have that, but you're going to have a year without it. And then who the hell knows what anything looks like down the road, which is why when I asked Haliburton and Williams afterwards about the temptation to say what they could be, Oklahoma City long-term, you see throughout these playoffs, 3 guys, all of whom, oddly, wear 0. Pop an Achilles. Dame gets hurt. Tatum gets hurt. Haliburton gets hurt. All 3 giant players all in the East, and that's another year that you just don't know what you've got. So it's foolish to talk about anything beyond right now. But
but seeing that hallway, Scott, after the game,
yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
It was, I mean, as bad a scene as I've ever seen. I mean, you got people wheeling out bags in tears. You got everything, and that's what I got from. I mean, I just grown men thinking they're all on the same page. They all knew in 72 hours they had gotten themselves to win a championship. They have going into a building that they won earlier in the series. Like I mean, you want true belief. That's why it hurt so bad, because everybody was on the same page and thought that they were going to get it done in that building. And to see that, it was brutal to see.
But honest to God, a privilege. Because it helps frame how we approach this. We get, and I appreciate it. I appreciate that people acknowledge the conversations that we have with players post game. I appreciate that, because if you watch, you see what it is. And I greet these people as human beings. And I greet them as they're the men in the arena. I'm sitting in it, covering it. But I have an appreciation for what it is that they lay on the line, which is why I always reference the Roosevelt speech about the man in the arena, whose face is marred with dust and sweat and blood, who know the great devotions, who, if they fail, at least fail while daring greatly, so that their place will never be with those cold and timid souls who knew neither victory nor defeat. Those Pacers, they knew the great devotions, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they failed while daring greatly. And winning 16 games to win an NBA title is a fucking mountain to climb, which is why we talk so much about the Stanley Cup and how much of an appreciation you have for those guys. And it comes out afterwards, Barkov's hand. They had to glue his hand shut because they kept sewing it shut and it wouldn't stay shut. But being up close with this Pacer team and this Thunder team, talking to the coaches pregame, you're part of this. You're part of it because you're the ones covering the story. You just don't lose sight of the fact that they're stars. They're compensated to the nth degree, but they're human beings. Jalen Williams told me last night when he said, "Yeah, I went and watched my YouTube highlights to feel better about myself." I'm like, "You still do that?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm human." I said, "You had a 40 piece in the finals." He goes, "Yeah, that was minus 40 in the very next game." And that's so illuminating that this is a 24-year-old young man who is balling out on the biggest stage there is. But then you're like, shit, am I that guy or am I the guy that just got cooked tonight? And just the privilege of getting to see the moment of high achievement, of getting to see the moments of absolute wreckage. God, that's just such a privilege to be that close to it and be able to be the ones, you've heard me say it, and so have you that are listening, that you get to be the ones in the moment when it's done. Shai's still wearing his gear to have the conversation about no more games to win, man. No more games. That dream you had as a little kid in Canada, it's in your lap. Now what? There's just nothing like that. Nothing. And so you're in the glow of these folks, and it's a privilege to be the one to try to get the emotion and the honesty from them. And so, I don't know, it was just special to be able to do it. And I'm not being coy about it. I have no idea, man. Inside's coming. I get it. It's inside the NBA. Like, if that's the show and I don't do it again, then that's whatever. I got to do this one, and I'll remember it fondly. I'm not going to worry about next year. Well, somebody smarter than me will figure it out. But
we talk about Rory and he has that pep in his step when he's hitting them well.
I
Noticed you had that little pep walking around last night. You're feeling it.
Well, I mean, you know me a long time.
You're in the arena.
I get to do it, and I don't take that lightly. And I don't do a whole lot of whatever, but I mean, I'll say this, and I'm proud of it. Our show's on after that for a reason. And I'm proud of what our show is. And so that's all I need to say. There's a pep in my step. Like, I woke up at Bethany Beach, Delaware on Sunday morning, And now I'm in Oklahoma City, and this is a finals game. And then you're the one that gets to talk to these guys. I mean, I didn't dream that, man. I promise you I didn't dream that. So it was really, really, it was cool. It was everything that's great about sports. It's also everything that can be heartbreaking about it. It's something beyond your control. I've seen it suggested, and it doesn't feel like an overreaction. That is there something to be done when it comes to these calf injuries for some sort of protocol where
guys are going to sit a hell of a lot longer now.
They might.
They're gonna.
Well, and I don't know what it is. I mean, it happened to Durant, and we all brought it up. Like, you hope it doesn't happen, then son of a bitch, it does. And it's like your body is protecting itself. Are you making the same movement? Is the way you protect yourself subconsciously impact this? Or is it just really bad luck? Who's to say? No one knows for sure. Oh, it's high top shoes. It's too many games. It's this, it's that, it's the other. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to pretend to be. But I do wonder if there's just some amount of time where you almost have to protect people from themselves and say, look, man. But how are you going to tell Tyrese Haliburton after Game 6, hey, you can't play Game 7?
Oh, no. It's going to be all the prior stuff. Once a guy gets something. Look at Luka around. I mean, that's why he didn't play at Dallas this year. He missed close to 2 months. Calf. Yeah. Scared to death of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's the new ACL. And talking to guys,
it cost you a year.
Yeah, that was the thing. You know, Legs was after the game, we're out talking with some guys that used to play in the league, and I'm just listening, and they're like, it was always ACL. You were deathly scared, and now this feels like the new ACL. Whatever the calf thing is, you're going to see guys sitting now. They're not messing around.
I've talked a little bit about Jalen Williams, how impressed I was with him. It's just such an impressive young man. Shai feels the same to me. Wild, too. He sounds just like Kobe to me. His voice, his cadence, it's so reminiscent to me of what he sounds like in my brain and sounded like. He just had a season that's on a very short list. Very short list. And we've always prided ourselves, don't overreact, whatever. Well, this season's done. The man led it in scoring, won the MVP, won the finals MVP. Team won 84 basketball games. And this puts him in a place that's really rare. And I don't hesitate to say like that he's as good a player as the league has. I felt like the Jokic SGA battle was the pinnacle of can you top this? That one I felt like it was Game 5 where Jokic was just throwing in fucking 40-footers late. I don't know that anyone in the world's better than that big dancing bear of a man. I really don't. Because he's uniquely gifted at what he does. But this season of Shai, I don't see. There are people don't love the elbows and whatever else. It's just that's understanding how the game is officiated and played and playing it to the nth degree. But that guy impresses the hell out of me, man. He is very unimpressed by himself. Doesn't do a whole lot of chirping. None of those guys do.
Oh,
neither side really does. At the end of it, I couldn't have loved the teams and their people more at the end of it. And one team's going to lose. That's just what you sign up for.
Yeah, Dagnall was awesome. Watching that man, he comes over to you, and then I'm watching him go to all these different interviews, and you could tell like he's in uncharted waters. Like he's a very
I never met him. Never spoke to him. And he goes, Mark Dagnall. I said, hi, I'm Scott Van Pelt.
You're a champion.
Yeah, good to see you.
But seeing him navigate and like trying to get the person's name that he's going to be talking to, I just found it fascinating because, like how bad it was for that team. We're like, hey,
I ridiculed him.
This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. And you're just taking punch after punch after punch. And then you hear these guys. Jalen talked about going hang with Chet, and while Chet's hurt, when he comes back, we're gonna go watch some film in the hotel room. So we want to be on the same page right when he gets back because we got to get this thing cooking. In this day and age where everybody just talks about, who has the shine and, who's this and who's that, but they don't have this. To stay on the same page as a organization doesn't get enough credit to me, and that's why I'm so happy that they were able to pull through and do it, because Dagnall kept calling his team uncommon because they celebrate the success of each other.
Yep.
And he said that's very rare in this league and in pro sports. On the podium, he said that. And I'm like, guy knows his team, but they built it.
Pacers
developed them.
Pacers are the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a league that is, and I said it, I believe, to Sam Presti, that, I mean, look, it's no secret that so much of the fuel in the engine of this league is the chatter that goes on social media. And I just don't feel like I see any of their guys in the midst of it. No rumors about wants to get moved. I think they all recognize that they're part of something that is rare.
Yeah.
And guys that are constantly seeking a happier, better place, it's because it doesn't exist where they are. And it's
the conversation around every other team in the league.
Correct. And it does exist there. It does. Hey, Red, what do you got? They're chirping at people. So I don't know. That's what I got on all this.
Yeah.
Anything else? I mean, we're not done.
There's stuff around. Travel questions I had for you.
I got some.
Yeah.
Can I just dive in?
Yeah.
I feel like it's a Seinfeld bit. What's the deal with airlines? So we had some we had some PJ Aviation. Appreciate the folks that were able to help make that happen. We also had some those in the private aviation space would call it flying dirty. I don't. I'm happy to get there however I can.
Commercial.
It's fine. Although we graduated from A6 in Atlanta to B6 in Indy. A little delay getting out of Dodge. That's where Steve was kind enough to take a picture of me because I was freezing to death. Nice of folks on Twitter to just miss the part where I said it wasn't the nozzle. Just turn the vent off, you idiot. It wasn't it, fucko. I turned it off. There was some mystery crack in the ceiling where Freon was pouring on my head, and I was going to freeze to death. So I wrapped myself up in a little shirt, and Steve took a picture of it, put it out there, which is fine. I made it. Here's my question, and this is not directed to any one airline. I feel like I've been on recently. It was American to there. Mm-hmm. Shout out to my friends at Delta. Been on a few Delta flights. United, whomever it may be, Southwest, whatever. I don't know what that is in that wicker basket you bring by and offer me up as snacks. I shouldn't have to go repeatedly, what's this? It's like some sort of a mystery, man. Just wrap up some Fritos, some Oreos, the Biscoff. Everyone loves the Biscoff. What is that? Is that cinnamony? Is it caramelly? What is that flavor?
Not caramelly.
Whatever it is, it's divine. Bring us that blueberry muffin option. We're good. Instead, all of you all have graduated to this fancy boy snack plate, and no one knows what it is. I go, what is this? What is this, muesli, or is there jerky in it? Is this a sweet treat or a savory treat? Is it crunchy? What is it? And I don't know. And so inevitably I go, well, I don't know what that is. Oh, you know what else is good? Those brownie bites. You ever have those? The brownie brittle? You ever have that? Oh, that's delicious. Give us that. A salty, a sweet. And we're good. But that's not how it goes.
No.
And this isn't me complaining about, we used to get a meal. I don't want the meal. I don't need the peanuts. I just say when you bring that little basket and you all do it, I don't know what happened to snacks that I could readily identify. And I don't want to work that hard.
Yeah, the peanut thing has really ruined it.
Well, and now it's not just peanuts because they'll take and they'll try to make it a snack, like a Chex Mix deal where it's some, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I don't know, it's the good one or the kind of
but like
the bootleg version, which I don't want.
The option that is supposed to be like Pirate's Booty, but it's cauliflower puffs.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Get the fuck out of here with those.
Why?
Because you know what's always, when I'm in row 4 and they start at row 1, you know what's left in there?
That.
The fucking collie puffs.
The good ones have gone early, and what you leave the big man with is that. It's a magic trick. You think you're getting some Pirates booty.
Collie puffs.
And what is this vegetable meal? Who wants this? This gruel in a bag. Come on.
I'd love to know if like that there's like 8 flights, the same bag that he put in there for the first flight. It's still there on the 8th. No one's taking those.
I won't. I just pass.
And it's dark, so you can't see anything. You know? So
where are you with the up or down? Because there are people that would say you're a terrorist.
Well, now they make you put it up.
No, down to keep it cool on the tarmac.
Yeah, well,
it was cool enough on that American flight the other day, thanks, where the refrigerant was dripping on my head.
It was freezing.
How cold was it? It was really cold.
I couldn't stop laughing.
No,
that's why I had to take the picture.
It's fine.
I had to.
The minute I did it, I'm like, the consequences will be swift. I don't care.
How about the flight where they were going to be like, sir, you're going to be in 27A?
Right, because there was a seat that was malfunctioning. And I said to the guy, I said, I'm 6'6". I said, I don't think I deserve special treatment, but how did I lose the seat lottery here? And some guy in front of me was a Pacer fan. Shout to Pacer fans. He's like, no, I got it. I'm like, you don't have to do that. I waited for that guy to get off the plane so I could thank him, and then somehow he slipped into the cracks. I never got to see him. Whoever you are, sir, if you listen to the pod, thank you. But yeah, they just told you, like, you got to go to the back. Me, the tallest person up here? And
how
again,
does that work?
Literally, what lottery did I lose?
He flies private all the time. Get him back there.
Seemed like it was, like if you wanted to give a 15-yard penalty to me just because of the PJ life. Maybe you heard about never again. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a question on Biscoff. How many are you allowed to take? Because 2 is insufficient. Like, 1 is two cookies. How many? I think 2's good. 3's too many.
All I know is I'm irate when it's already cracked when I open it.
Right?
That happens all the time.
Why?
They're too brittle.
Yeah, but why are we irate? We want it to be just...
want the whole bar.
I understand, but what difference does it make? You just... Because then it's all crummy.
Yeah.
And then there's crumbs
horrible.
everywhere. Right, and then it's on you.
Have it with your kids?
So
Good
true.
luck.
So
it's
true.
all over the place.
Okay. All right. We're accomplishing... We're making progress here, people.
American, you need more people or in vehicles that do the push-off for the plane.
Yeah, we had a problem.
I've waited over an hour and a half 3 times.
I think that's a national airport thing. I don't think that's an airline issue.
Okay.
I think
they need to go down to the D gate because there's one guy for about 14 gates.
Old Glenn's up there with those orange things going like this.
Got the headset on, dripping in sweat. God bless those people.
Today especially, because, buddy, you could cook meat on the sidewalk. But it was a problem there to get the old shove. We need a tug and a shove. I'm like, wait a minute. What are we getting here? Hey, now. Yeah. All right, we're sorting out problems here.
Trying.
Better snacks. Let's pump up the temps.
Ice, too. We need ice.
Oh, I never had a problem getting ice. This is more sort of plain talk part 2. I have a question about this, because getting a chance to meet people a lot for the first time.
Oh.
What?
Nothing. I know what you're going to say.
No, you don't. What am I going to say?
No one says their name when they want a selfie. Just like, hey, Scott, can we get a selfie? You're like, Joe? Jim? You got a name? Like, what happened to introducing yourself to people?
Selfies are fine. Although that one guy, that like the dude who's his buddy was filming. You content folks, man. Just have a human interaction. Not everything has to be content.
Can't.
Although
they can't even say their name when they introduce themselves.
That's true.
Problem.
I'm asking about handshake etiquette. We all understand, give a firm shake, look somebody in the eye, say your name. I introduce myself to every person I meet. They go, I know who you are. Well, then they say, I'm Steve. I go, well, now we know each other. Okay? Simple thing. I don't assume you know me. Hey, I'm Scott. All right, it's a firm grip. Look in the eye. All right, we've done it. All right, it's over. There are people for whom this is some game where they're going to give you like an extra squeeze at the end. And if I get a bad squeeze, I'll demand a reshake like a mulligan. No. Come back in here. Give me another one.
What's he trying to do? Hurt you?
I don't know. And if I get a bad grip where I've only got the fingers and like they've got
the fish.
They've got, right. Then they're like, oh, Van Pelt, shitty handshake. No. It was give me a regrip. There we go. Now we got palm on palm.
And Scott always looks at the hand. So, like, we're not going to dap or we're not going to, like,
if
back.
You're the host, you got to know,
always,
because Haliburton gave me the proper dap, and then you got to be careful. You go in for the what's up, like, and then you're getting a how's it going? You're getting the CEO handshake or you're getting a what's up handshake from your fellas. That's a tricky one. I almost had a perfect run. I had a bad grip, Stephen A, and I only got ends of fingertips, and I called myself out. I said that was not immaculate dap. I'm not talking about the dap. I'm talking about just a handshake. I think you should be allowed to go in for a regrip, and there are people that I've met that like they're trying to squeeze to break your hand. That's just unnecessary.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Right?
Don't need it.
Okay. A couple of athletes out there. If you ever meet Artis Gilmore, get ready. He's trying to break your arm. Adrian Peterson, same story. But I'd been warned about him. So I went in and I sturdied myself. Like I made my hand as wide as I could. And then it was just, I could feel it crumbling. I'm like, all right, we're good. We're good.
But you also have a man's man who is going to give, like, that's how strong they are.
And right. But you, to a point, we've established that. Let go. That's all I'm saying.
All right, let go.
All right, let go. You have any plain talk?
Like
no,
Elsa,
I wrote mine down.
Elsa, let it go. No.
My card says, what are the snacks? What even are they?
Bad.
I have one more while you're looking. Here's a question for you, just amongst yourselves. Are grapes the most consistent fruit? I love a cold apple, Honeycrisp. You get a mealy, mushy, room temperature apple, throw it away.
Yeah.
Bananas, they're great. They got a sweet spot. The minute those things get like all outside's all weathered looking, shut it down. Strawberries could get mushy. Blueberries could be a little dodgy. I feel like grape, the staying power of a grape, firmness, sweet. I don't feel like sometimes you get a fruit like a strawberry. Sometimes you get a sour strawberry.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Grapes, one seed, most consistent fruit.
Yep, because oranges, the skin is always different.
Right, when you open up the orange and you think you've gotten to the pulp, and instead there's still that
got the film,
thick-ass white layer of like, it's like a
I don't want to
skin.
eat that.
No, who does? No one. And then and then if you get an orange, maybe off season where you're thinking, oh, this is going to be so sweet, and then you bite it and it's like, you're so disappointed.
You don't like watermelon.
It's a texture thing, and then there's seeds and it's juices dripping all over you.
The problem with watermelon is like the ripe red and then you get like the flaky white one that's not ripe yet. It's a terrible taste.
Now grapes. You rarely encounter a grape that you go, well, that was a lousy grape.
Red or green?
I'm team green. I'll eat a purple one, and I always go, oh, that's nice. That's fine. But if they're side by side, I'm grabbing green 1,000 out of 1,000.
Okay. I grab red.
But we'll get along perfect.
What about cherries with the pit in them?
Can't recall the last time we ever had cherries in the refrigerator.
Don't buy them?
It's constantly raspberries, which inevitably will be
thrown.
What's
up with the hair on those?
Not a fan.
That's disgusting.
We have kids. Do your
and then
kid-
you know what it is? Oh, we need them for the smoothies. No, you don't. I bet you I can make a smoothie without a raspberry in it that has hair growing off it longer than my face.
That's fair.
You don't need them.
And in our house, our kids go through cycles where it's like they'll eat an entire plastic container of raspberries, and then 1 week later, I don't like them. What happened to the child that ate all of them? Don't know. Not today. Okay, so those ones in there are going to get old. We're going to pitch them, or chuck them in a smoothie. No one's any wiser. All right.
Talk about mushy. Oh,
Yeah, not great.
We had a fruit plate. This is how this comes up on the plane, and Scott had first pick. Scott went pineapple, which is very solid. And then I realized he wasn't going to touch the mangoes, and I got all the mango. And the mango is so good, but I can't buy them because the peeling. I've watched the thing with a glass, how you peel it there, but I can't ever. I don't know when it's ripe and when to peel it. They're so good.
My kids like mango.
Oh, they're so good.
You know how you knew that that we were in the private aviation space? Because they had mango and kiwi on that jump.
Already cut.
Oh, yeah.
Peeled.
Where are you on kiwis?
Love them. As long as I don't have to do the work.
I have kiwis as delicious.
Yes.
But I only seem to see them in a situation like that. Like, I'm not going to buy them in the store.
No.
I just buy apples, chuck them in the refrigerator.
The honeydew's still on the plate.
Of course it is. Red wouldn't eat it. No one would eat it. No one. And if you do, you're a sociopath. It is foul. Just foul. You know what? Cantaloupe, too. Cantaloupe and honeydew. Put it together. Put that green and orange together in a salad and give it to someone else.
That's what I want. Like these hotels, buffets, everybody that does the fruit cup. How about one without honeydew in it?
How about one where 90% of it isn't those two horror show fruits?
There we go.
Let me tell you something. If you had a bowl of that next to the cauliflower chips that no one knows what they are on the airport bag, on the airplane bag, I'll devour those chips before I eat that honeydew and cantaloupe. Repugnant.
Come on. Restaurants, wherever you are, no honeydew or cantaloupe
Good luck
in your
with
fruit
that.
cups.
Good luck with that. It's like the crab meat in a crab meat mac and cheese or lobster mac and cheese.
Yeah.
There's only a very little bit of it. The rest is the pasta. Yeah. That's the equivalent of these melons we're speaking of.
Yeah.
Yuck. I'll keep going.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's going to be a long summer for me at the beach.
Why?
So we haven't been because this schedule has been rather aggressive. Constantly going somewhere, coming home, but only home for a day, do a show, get on a plane. Not complaining, just the reality of it. Hoping to get down to the beach. Had about a 36-hour window. We got to go to Oklahoma City for Game 7. Okay, don't have to go, get to go. Remember that. Also, we've got enough time from Friday that we can get down there. Let's go.
Do you?
Not really. Just say that drive home from the beach is a catastrophe.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
We need to get the Jetsons with the... We need some kind of... Or maybe, you know what, for the summer, might rent a chopper. I'm terrified of them, but you know what else? You know what I'm terrified more of? Sitting in the Bay Bridge for 11 hours. Might just take a chopper. I mean, how long could it take to get from here to the beach? 10 minutes? Let's find out.
Look into it.
Might have to. Didn't really have enough time, but we made it work. So we go down to Bethany Beach. I'm walking Red, who has left us. Walking Red. Red's kind of in the middle of the street. Pull Red over to the side. I'm like, all right, sorry. Give the, courtesy, sorry. Truck slows by very slowly. I'm like, we got a problem here? What do we got? And then the guy says, "Hi, sorry, Scott. Just admiring that bathing suit of yours." I said, "Is that right?" I said, "You like this? You like that? Huh?" "Yep." I said, "How about the colors?" He drives off. I hear him laughing in the car. All right. Hey, listen to the pod. Thank you. Next day, different street, walking to the beach. Same scenario. Guy slows down. "Boy, Scott, that's a great-looking suit on." I said, "Come on." He goes, "Love the pod." Off he goes. And so... two random people.
That's awesome.
In 2 days, chirping me about the suit.
We haven't even got to the holiday yet.
About that. Ladies and gentlemen, for those listening, you're not going to see what I'm about to share. For those watching, behold. Oh, look at that veil brocade. Look at the lovely tortoises. That's a big-ass suit. Red, white, and blue.
Look at the colors.
I mean, not just red and blue.
Vibrant.
It's vibrant.
You can feel them when you're wearing.
No, this isn't the textured with the stitching.
Oh.
But
No, I'm saying the pop of the colors.
After we were talking about these, I decided, you know what I need? I need one more of these for the holidays. So when we're down for the 4th, bang, look for your boy in the red and blue. What's the turtles is that. I expect to get chirped all summer. I deserve it. It's fine. High-end swimwear. I'm waiting for them to send me like a link to a code that I don't think they exist in that space.
Via Brickclaw.
Good try. No, I just think I'm here to help. We collectively move product. You send me a link, I put it out there and go, hey, you guys want the gateway drug to the high-end swimwear addiction? I'm your guy. I'm your plug right here. I'll help you out. But it was what I love about our little space is that is just an organic thing. Like Bethany Beach is this tiny little place in Delaware.
Tiny.
And twice in 2 days on like adjacent streets, I'm getting chirped. And you feel good about it. You like to know that the people are out there laughing, shaking their heads, I'm sure, going, how much did that suit cost? Now see, this is where, Vilebrequin, you get a little code. Now then they buy one, they're like, wow, I'm never going back to.
You don't need any more.
Who, me?
You have
no,
them
I don't
all.
I don't want a code for me. I want to share it with our listeners.
Okay.
So that the guys driving, I don't know if the guy from Selbyville or Dagsboro is going to get on the web and plunk down.
Denton?
That's Maryland.
Oh, that's Maryland? Okay.
That's Denton. Yeah. Popo were out yesterday by the, where was that? Not in your normal speed trap towns. They were pulling some folks over yesterday, but hey, I'm here to help anybody from anywhere.
Okay.
But that's what I have for the folks.
About that drive yesterday.
Yeah?
What time did you leave? 10?
10 o'clock. Waze told me it was going to take
There we go. Waze fault. Text from Scott. Waze only off by an hour and a half on the drive back.
It might have been the time I left at that time. That's what it was.
You think?
What time?
You know what happens on Sundays from the beach here?
Yeah.
Everyone is coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
The idea that you thought you were going to do that drive in 3 hours is mind-boggling.
I didn't think 3, but I didn't think 4.5.
It's 4.5 if you leave at 10 a.m., buddy.
There's a couple of stoplight situations on 404 that we need the public works to look at. I mean, I'm figuring if the people are going to heckle me about the swimwear, maybe somebody in the public workspace is listening.
Oh, I got
What are we
plenty
doing?
there.
What are we doing with? I'm not talking about the dead deer that they just wait for the animals to come eat on the side of the road that no one picks
How
up.
about the trees after the storm?
How about the mowing of the islands? Could someone get out there with a mower? Could we sort that out? No. Our taxes in this county are out fucking outrageous. Could we mow the islands? Nope. But I'm talking about 404. We got some lights on the way home. Those need to be green in perpetuity, so we can just keep it breezy and keep it moving. I don't know. I didn't think it was going to be 3. I didn't think 4 and a hook. So we were a little late getting out of Dodge.
It's going to be 4 and a hook.
Okay.
All right.
Stanford Steve, Delmarva traffic expert.
I can help in that instance.
10-10 wins.
There you go.
All right. Well, I got here, didn't I?
Yeah.
We got there.
Actually.
Steve's waiting in the.
I was good. I was watching LSU baseball.
Congrats to them.
How about that?
How do you run that skipper?
You know,
you're not allowed to argue balls and strikes, by the way. Not for nothing. You're not allowed to.
My issue is what the umpire always comes back to, and again, one of my most hated things, we don't get to hear from the umpires. He could have given a warning that the coach never saw before that. Because when he says you got 3 wrong so far, I'm thinking he got a warning before.
That's where you get this right here from Scott Foster. We've instituted that in the house, by the way.
Oh, T?
Technicals. 2 technicals, you lose something.
Timeout?
No, 2 technicals, you lose something. Either screen time or a treat. And I'm going to do just like Foster.
Who's got the most T's? You?
No, I think Charlie might be leading at the moment.
Are they extended from here to the beach?
No, I think we got to. I think it's like a 24-hour window. I think it's like Draymond. I think they're going to be smart. Once they get that first one, I think they're going to be smart enough to know.
Okay.
Charlie called his brother Big Back. I'm like, how do you know to call him that? Don't say that. That means I'm fat. Boom.
Ow.
He was pissed. You got to work on kindness and love.
You know what you got to do?
A lot.
No.
Where are we starting?
So there's a story. We had Pat Shermer coach for us, obviously offensive coordinator, Colorado now, but an NFL head coach. He came to Stanford from Michigan State. And whenever there was a fight, like guys got into it in practice, remember George Perlis?
Yeah.
Big.
Yeah.
Legend.
Yeah.
Perlis would blow the whistle. He had like just like a stanchion with a hanger that he could hang, ropes on or whatever. He always had 2 pair of boxing gloves. And he would just blow the whistle. Guys knew exactly what it was. Get the gloves. The 2 guys would just box.
See, we can't have that.
Right in the middle of practice.
Because the little one,
he got it?
Yeah, he's shown a capacity. He'll throw with intent. I don't want that.
Some box. Get some Everlast.
We're gonna go technicals. Try to rein things in.
There's got to be a tally too. Like if you get 10, you're looking at.
I feel like that needs to be a punishment, right? Because you can't just accruing one a day for in forever, and then there's no consequence. There needs to be a consequence.
Yeah.
I have one more shout out for the beach. They don't need it. It's like Vilebrequin. They don't need me to say, "Hey, you should check them out." But I'm going to shout them out because they're awesome. I mean, obviously, Monty, we give him. He doesn't need our help either. The guy's going to own the entire beach by the time it's done. But I'm saying Blue Coast in Bethany, this restaurant is it's just spectacular. And they always make room for us. Guys, they love you guys there. I'm like, well, we love them. So thank you for having us. It's a tough spot to get in. They don't need any help. This isn't gonna what?
You think?
Yeah, they don't need any help. I'm just telling you, I want to say thank you publicly.
They got to build a parking garage on that bay.
They need an upper deck. They need more parking is what they need. But actually, it's actually perfect. It's like when you drive, like if you see the club and there's a line, what does it make you want to do? You want to go in that? Ooh, that place must be great. The words are already out. But anyway, thank you all for having us.
I got you, Monty. Dewey, we just walk everywhere. Safer.
Is it?
People in Bethany got to get in their cars. Golf carts.
Get chirped by people about swimwear.
We're coming.
4th of July.
4th of July, baby.
There it is.
Let's get it going.
Go America. Nothing more American than wearing a French bathing suit that costs $1 million.
Same color.
Yeah. We got our last week of shows for SportsCenter this week. And then next week there'll be no pod. Unless somehow something comes together here this week, which would maybe be like a one big thing when I don't think it's going to happen. TBD. But either way, we get to the end of this week post-draft and then...
Just give them the boomer.
What?
They get what they get when they get it.
What?
Hey, John Bucci Grass.
He told that story with... I believe Craig Kilborn on the Killers podcast.
They know who we mean.
All-timer.
It really is. I got a text from Boom today about the Travelers. He's like,
How about the 5th major? Always delivers.
And it does.
It does.
It really, there's something about, it's incredibly well supported by the region. Cromwell stand up, as you said.
Yes.
But there's something about the finishing stretch of holes. The 18th always seems to be drama. Couldn't have been more dramatic. I love Tommy Fleetwood as a dude. Everyone does. We're all rooting for him to get a breakthrough dub because he's that good. He should win one. Looked like he was gonna. And then Keegan Bradley, who loves New England, loves to play for that area, won for the second time, I want to say, in 3 years.
Yes.
He made birdies.
The second, 5th major he won.
So he's got 3 majors now.
Yeah.
To go with the PGA. He birdies, Fleetwood bogeys. It's a catastrophe for Fleetwood, but an incredible ending for the Travelers, the Heartbeat, Hartford adjacent.
Yeah. We know Southern Connecticut's better than.
And for Captain Keegan, who now says Door ajar.
Yeah, can we pump the brakes on the Ryder Cup?
What?
Can't wait for Bethpage. It's like 6 months away.
It's not.
In October, right?
It's the fall, but I mean, all you've got left is the Open, and I mean,
I'm saying the calendar. Golf's done.
no, it most certainly is not. The Open Championship still.
Yeah, that's it. All the
Dingle,
no, that one.
reigning champ, no big deal.
You 100%.
Not yet. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna do this week. I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna pound balls in the sun. That's where championships are won. While others are in the AC, I'm gonna be out there sweating like sweating like a pig, hammering wedge after wedge, just dialing it in. How far does the 56 go? Do you know? Can you hit it on flat top? Who's to say? But
what did Keegan hit on that second to last shot?
I don't know. What I'm gonna hit on one. Control the trajectory, Steve. You're big on that.
Yeah. I got a couple sports things.
All right. KD trade?
No.
All right. He's going to
We
Houston.
got plenty of time to talk about that.
All right.
Our guy, who is now my favorite manager in Major League Baseball,
Schultzy?
What the Padres did, I'm so happy that it happened. Because the Dodgers just prance around and act like they're untouchable. And here they are throwing at Tyrese.
Three times in 4 days.
Come on.
Once is an accident, twice is a trend, 3 times is a problem.
And
Or 3.
Schultzy said, meet me outside.
Dave Roberts said, I'll kick your bleeping ass, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to tangle with old Schultzy.
I wouldn't mess with Schultzy. He takes those glasses off and hands them to somebody. Like, you ever seen those guys get in a fight?
If they
take them off, forget it.
If the eyewear is removed, that means it's time to get to squabbling.
I saw my dad do that once.
Ooh. I bet that whoever saw it.
Yeah, they kept walking.
I bet they did.
Oh, man. That's the move.
That's a tell.
That's the move. It's kind of like when Bristol is talking to you at the desk and we're here in D.C. About you're going to have to do this or don't know what time we're going to be off yet.
And then what happens?
You take the glasses off, put them on, and then you have this very distinct way of how you put your palms in your eyes, and you're trying to release tension.
It's true.
And they still can't understand when you're mad.
It's been 10 years, and somehow the group collectively doesn't know. I don't think I'm some diva. I don't get pissed by much, but sometimes I just need a bit of communication. And when it doesn't come, I think that's what I do. I know that's what I do. I guess I never heard it articulated.
Because you know what else is my favorite thing is that everyone has headsets, right? And when we're asking questions, we can tell your headsets are off and you guys are talking in the control room.
And you're trying to figure out how to manage the message to me. I'm a grown man. Just tell me something.
That's it. You're not even on camera. When we're in the office and we have the Zoom up, you're on camera.
And
this way, there's no camera in the
glasses off and the hand, the palms.
Like it's like I could see your head gets veiny.
It is. I do have
that one
veiny side head. It's getting worse. I think it's just the elderly peepaw stuff, age spots and things of that nature.
You look great.
I'm gonna get my summer tan going with the Vilebrequin. What's up?
So anyway, I really appreciate what the Padres did, standing up and be like, no, this isn't gonna go how we're. You want to go at our best? We're gonna go at yours.
And they
Who has fucking body armor all over.
He's like a tank. He's like a tank going up there.
Yeah. So.
And by the way, the minute that happened, both people got warned, right?
Yeah, and then another Padre guy got hit, and nothing happened. But no, that wasn't brought up. So
if you guys haven't been able to connect the dots here, Steve's not the biggest fan of the Dodgers.
No,
but I would echo here. I have no dog in this literal fight, but I agree that baseball's played a certain way and it's policed a certain way. And there's old school elements to it. And by the way, you throw at our best 3 times in 4 days. Well, guess what? When the MVP steps in there, don't dig in. That's been baseball forever. And then you guys talk about play the right way. What's funny to me is baseball's play the right way, and somehow college baseball has become talk as much outrageous shit as you possibly can. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Pimp every home run, spin the bat, look at guys, give them the suck it. It's just crazy. College baseball is the complete antithesis of play it the right way. It's play it the way we want to play it, rub your face in it repeatedly, which is why I had no issue with what Arkansas did to Tennessee. People are like, wow, that was a little across the line. Tennessee, you kind of asked for that one. And by kind of, I mean you asked for that one. But isn't it wild? Like how different, the same sport. I guess it isn't the same sport. You play with aluminum bats, and it's a different game. But it's wild how the right way of Major League Baseball and collegiate baseball are not in any way related.
Not even close.
Nope.
Shout out to Arkansas. I'm still thinking of you after that loss. That was, I mean, watching that and then being in person for the Pacers last night, those were two brutal ways to have your season end. And I don't know what to say. Like
Arkansas skipper, is it Van Horn? Van Horn.
Yeah.
You've been there a while. He loved up his players afterwards. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Said we wouldn't have been here without the left fielder who had the air. Wouldn't have been here. And I get it. If you're an Arkansas fan, you don't think this. It's the reality. Your teams seem to invent cruel and hideous ways for you to lose in the worst possible way. And I get that would be difficult to do because you talk yourself into maybe we're going to get a winner-take-all game with these sons from LSU. That's how you view them. I get it. And then that happens. You get 2 in the top of the 9th, and then that happens. And you're like, I'm out. But the way he surrounded his guys with appreciation and love, that's the best of sports. Yeah. The best of sports. So I understand you're hurt and wounded, but you could do a hell of a lot worse than somebody that shows that kind of love and respect for his players.
Yeah, and I was looking at a map and seeing where Baton Rouge is compared to Omaha. It's not close. How do they have so many people there?
Because it's like 28 days or years later, they're a mutant species. They're and I mean that with absolute love. And you know that, BR. You know I have nothing but love. You all will just a horde of mutants. And whether it's on foot, whether you hitch rides like the old days, whether you get on those little bikes that have
don't let them fool you. They got some vehicles on some wheels that you and I could live on.
Oh, and they lead the league and they lead the world in private aviation. I remember being in Baton Rouge in Tiger Stadium on a Saturday night where a friend of ours pointed out a gentleman that I believe was wearing just overalls and no shirt. And he said, that man right there is the richest person in this stadium. And I said, well, howdy. Nice to meet you.
I love him.
So do I.
Did you see the guy doing
of course.
The hula hoop with the beads around his neck?
No one else could do that.
Then there was a man dressed up, not like Mike the Tiger, like a real tiger.
Sure.
Tail and everything.
Might have been one. Might have been half and half. They found him down there in the swamps. No one like him. No one like them.
They're the best.
The Jello shot game, retire it. It's no one's beating them.
Sorry, Rocco's. Come up with something else.
No one's beating them. If they're in, it's
52,000.
Of course they did. The fight's over.
The tournament's like 10 days.
There is no fight that's a fair fight with them. The children do them.
Oh.
That's a great way to get them learned up on how to get advanced to the hard liquors phase. Just give them a little of that to gnaw on as youngsters.
I love
incredible people. And again, I think I said to Kyle Peterson, was this a vintage LSU team in terms of some of their others? I mean, they had an elimination game. They trailed at home to Little Rock.
Them did. In the box.
Just kept their patience, stayed in the fight. Stayed in the fight against Arkansas, and then they, Coastal hadn't lost a game since April 22nd, and they lost 2 in a row when they played LSU.
As Kyle's also said, they're built different. On and off the field. That's all you need to know.
That's it in a nutshell.
That's all you need to know. Speaking of amazing people, I do want to point out, if you have the chance, Katie Ledecky spoke the commencement speech at that, how many do you have now? 3?
I've given a couple. I gave one at Maryland. I gave one at Wisconsin. I actually spoke to my high school twice. It was so long in between. I guess that's 4, and I've retired.
Really?
I don't want to ever do it again. Too much pressure to get it right. Hard to do.
Wow.
It's nerve-wracking. Like when you're speaking to the graduates, like Maryland, I'm Maryland. Wisconsin, I thought, like, I'm on cable TV. And like there's some engineer from Madison, like they're looking at me like, who's this? Who's this slapdick? Giving me advice on life.
No, she gave the commencement speech, and it's unbelievable.
What was your favorite part?
How she had 70 minutes to regroup and won Olympics after losing her first medal race in 36 races. And it was the 1500. And she talked about how she was going to get herself together. And a 1500 is, you know how long it would take you or I to swim that?
I would die in the pool before I got there.
Like a long time. And she just started talking about who she's going to swim for, her training partners, her teammates, her coaches. And she started thinking about her two grandmas that were watching on TV. And for the strokes, she just said one grandma's name, the next grandma's name. One grandma's name, the next grandma's name.
For 1,500.
And she won. Gold. But I think she's just absolutely incredible. She's so relatable. She's the ultimate. You never hear a person say a bad word about her. No matter, like, she's from around here.
Yep.
So, like, all the swim coaches and everybody is enamored with her. Now she's down at Florida. I don't like it. I like her when she's wearing a Stanford cap. Anyway, it's the only bad thing I could say about her.
Wear the right cap, Katie.
She's just incredible. Like, every single person Tirico at the Olympics, like, one of his favorite people he's ever met. Everybody.
We had one interaction with her on our show. It was during the pandemic.
She's spending over an hour trying to get her Wi-Fi fixed.
That's it. We're trying to sort out an interview over Zoom. The Wi-Fi wasn't working. It was dropping out. Here's one of the most accomplished athletes.
She was also at an empty apartment adjacent from Stanford's campus because she knew she could still go there and train.
She was there to train.
Just to give some...
that's
her.
She didn't take the pandemic off, but her tolerance for the assignment and her patience in getting it done, and just as you say, relatable, endearing, charming, laughing the whole time. It was just we were laughing hysterically at some points because it wouldn't work, and then we ended up airing one of the least technically sound interviews that there ever had been, but it was just worth doing because at that point, A, we needed the content. And B, it was just funny to see how bad it went.
Yeah, it kind of sucked for her because we didn't have any games to go watch or anything because there was no sports and we were doing Sports Center.
Yes, we were.
And so we were literally trying to help like we could help.
No, just boot up with DOS. Turn it off and turn it on. Take the game out, try to see if you blow in the game. No? You got the ring of death? There's a lot. That was the extent of my technical expertise.
Yeah. So with that, I watched it with my daughter who swam her first 200 IM this weekend, that's
a long way.
She just turned 9 years old a couple weeks ago.
Whew.
And she did it. And she said she started thinking about what Katie was like as she was swimming.
Really?
But yeah, it was pretty cool. So
now she's young, but she's competitive. She's got your and your wife's competitive athletic DNA, clearly. Were there things that you think Katie said that would land with her?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. She referenced them after, like when she came home and everything.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
What a cool thing to share.
So, like 9 years old in the big pool, 50 meter, like that's, a lap of each stroke. And she did it. And her quote after was, "Now I know what it means now when swimmers say they have jelly legs." So it was really cool for her to do it. She was nervous. Obviously, she had never done it before. There's a lot of people around. It's a big time meet, and she did it. And it was pretty nuts. Pretty nuts seeing a 9-year-old in an Olympic sized pool is very, very intimidating. But got it going.
She's built for it, man. She's built for it.
Yeah, and then we were in your old stomping grounds.
Flower Valley.
Yeah. Sun Devils went there, got a win, set a couple pool records.
No big deal.
Jack Conger, who's an Olympian, had a couple at that pool. Didn't get him in the 100 free, but the boys took their pool record in the relay. Oh, wow. So another big win.
That was back in the day for your boy. It was a long time ago. Flower Valley was a long time. But as soon
Free
as you,
glasses, hair.
as soon as you, I was a
How
child.
tall? Were
I
you
was in,
6 foot like in 8th grade?
no.
No.
I had a weird. I just sort of kept going. I didn't get to.
Were you like 5'7" with size 13 feet?
Yeah, I was I was always the tall kid. Like, God, I wish I could find it. I don't know where my guy Tyrone Powell is, aka Weena. I don't know where Tyrone Powell is, but I love you, Tyrone. In 4th grade, he said, "I'm going to blow out my afro, and I'm going to be taller than you." And he blew out his afro, and I'm in the back row in the middle, of course, because I'm the tallest kid. And there's my guy, Tyrone Powell. His face is in the middle of my chest, and his afro is as tall as my head. Just the two of us just smiling as big as we possibly could, because he didn't quite get there, but he literally had like a 1.5 foot high afro. This was back in the day, obviously. But I was always tall, but I was not this tall until I kept growing in college. I was
Wow.
I was 6'4" in high school, and then my first year at college, that's when I gained weight finally and grew a couple more inches.
Suds.
Thank God it stopped. I mean, just we reached it still at a like. And these
And then
pictures,
you said you had like a kid with a beard on your little league team, right?
yeah, he's listening to the pod. He was throwing 85. I don't have a hair on my ass, and I'm like, go get him. Trying to play baseball. I didn't get a lot
Let's
of time.
give the ball to Jeff again.
He was dealing.
Mow him down.
Yeah, he's got acne and a beard. That was always good fun when you have children and a man on the same team. How's that competition going to work out? But I don't know how tall I am because I got a chance to just a couple of awesome sort of fun full circle moments through the finals. I got a picture with me, Grant Hill, and 3D Dennis Scott, and we had the most incredible 10-minute conversation about the old ACC.
Oh,
Like, I'm talking belly laughs from all of us, and we're standing there, and I'm as tall as them. And they're like, Grant's listed at 6'8". I refuse to be listed that tall. Then after the championship, Aaron Wiggins, Keith Gatlin, his high school coach, 2 legendary Maryland players back in the day, I'm standing in the middle. I'm as tall as them. I don't know how tall I am, but I'm still saying it's 6'6". So either they're lying or I'm lying.
I think you're lying.
I might be lying.
You have any lifts on last night? Where were those brown?
Little Tom Ford pieces, no big deal.
Mm.
Those were the fancy boy shoes I wore in the airport in Atlanta when I looked like a crazy European. So there you go. Wore those to the national championship football game, and I wore those to the night that the Thunder were crowned NBA champion.
One last one.
It was a blast all the way around. Yes.
Motivation for the summer for the teachers and schools out there. Schools out.
All right. What do you got for the teachers?
What happened to class trips?
You mean field trips?
Yeah.
For the day?
Yeah. No one goes anywhere. We're in school. They watched like 3 movies the last 7 days.
You want them to go on like to the monument in June?
Yeah. It's down the road. You know how much stuff we have here?
Oh yeah, they've shut it down, Steve. They're done.
I'm just saying we got to get class trips, field trips,
more field trips. Did you used to do this?
I got one.
Okay.
Did your parents ever chaperone?
I think my mom did.
Mine did. They were both teachers, so they never did.
Now that you say that,
But like all the same parents.
Yeah,
every year.
I don't think they did. But did you do this? Or when we went on field trips, you were allowed to do what? Bring a soda.
Oh yeah.
Now,
and you got a little cash.
But did you do this complete lie? Oh, you put it in the refrigerator, then wrap it in aluminum foil. It'll stay cold. You know what you had at the zoo later that day? You had a hot-ass Fresca wrapped up in aluminum foil. That's what you had.
Looked like you had
Yeah. Looked like you had some kind of incendiary device. He's got a bomb. No, I'm sorry. It's a Fresca. He's wrapped up like an aluminum foil. His parents lied to him. Thinks it's going to keep it cold. What a dumbass. And I would do it every time.
How's your hot soda? There's nothing worse.
But no, it's terrible. But you still drank that hot-ass soda because you got a soda because you got to go to see the Smithsonian.
Yeah. Museums, there's a million of them
Now
out
I
there.
feel like, you know what they do now? They take one of the 9 million Yetis they have, and they'd have they've had a very, very frosty beverage.
Yeah.
Not us, buddy.
No.
We just had a paper sack that weighed 100 pounds because there was a Fresca in there. It was wrapped. And then I would think, I must not have wrapped it up in enough. So I think I used like a whole thing of like Reynolds wrap. It was like the size of a Nerf football. And inside of it is a hot Fresca. Why a Fresca, Scott? Don't know. That was always
only soda that was in the fridge.
No, but that was like on a field trip. I felt like I was really living. I felt like I was really stepping out.
Get the kids out of the school, like
Mom, taking a Fresca. We're going downtown. I'm stepping out. We're leaving Germantown in the rear view, going down to D.C. Time to put a Fresca in the fridge.
Fire up the field trips.
There you go. Our field trips are done for a little while. Come the fall, we'll be back at it again at an aggressive pace. But there'll be no more B6s, no more signatures / whatever, Atlantic Aviations. Again, a thanks to the crew behind the scenes, work their cans off, man. And we just sort of parachuted in there. That's not our space. They were nice enough to kind of make room for us, quite literally on the floor. And shout out to the league. Got a nice message from the commissioner about the coverage and about how it, makes it feel bigger. And I don't know that. I mean, if they feel that way, then we certainly are pleased to be part of that. Again, just to bring it full circle. I wouldn't speak for both of us, but I know I echo your thoughts. Just nothing but gratitude to be in that space for that long and see the end. And man, leaving there today and it's sunny, hot day, and I'm imagining going back to Indy and thinking, like, do you ever get that close again? Thinking of how much you had to do to get that far. And I said it on SportsCenter. I'll say it here in the end. Here, you can honor yourself in defeat with how you carry yourself, how you play, how you fight. And the Indiana Pacers did that. The Thunder were the best team all year, and in the end, they're going to be getting a parade ready in their town. I would say lather up. You're going to need some sunscreen.
That's going to be a scene.
And that's a group that didn't know how to pop champagne. So if these guys are smashing beers all day, you're going to have some dudes fall out in the boat trucks.
You know who did, though?
Or what are they called? I said boat trucks. What is that even?
As long as I don't have to hear the word duck boats.
Duck boats. That's what I was thinking.
Those are Boston.
The big buses with the tops off that Rick Carlisle saw before the game. It was livid. I don't blame him. That was going to be a master stroke of, you see what these pricks are doing? Look at that. But they're going to get to use them, and they earned them. You got anything else as a parting note?
I don't think so.
All right. Happy 4th, safe
Fired
4th.
up for the draft.
There you go. I'm giving up.
Oh, you know what you should one big thing pod on?
Go ahead.
U.S. men's soccer.
I'm pretty sure.
Seems like a hot topic.
Still Klinsman's fault?
No, it's
Berhalter.
Yeah, both of them. And Bruce Arena.
Him too. It was always their fault.
Swellman.
What are we doing? As I said to him years ago, and he sent me that after they got boat raced by somebody. He said, yeah, it's amazing how spot on this end. When I asked him, maybe we're just not that good at soccer. Not terrible, but I don't know. Hope they sort it out. We got a year until World Cup next year. There we go. Right now, they got their wires crossed. Got to try to sort that out. All right. This has been SVPod. We'll see you at some point. Could be soon. Could be a little bit later. Happy safe 4th. Appreciate you watching. Stop chirping me about my bathing suits. Get online and buy you one.
Don't stop.
Welcome to the high-end swimwear space. You're going to love it here. The water's just right.